Hey, all you hot messes. Welcome back to the Hot Mess Teacher Express. This week, we are talking all about classroom hacks, organizational hacks, decorating hacks, classroom management hacks, all of the hacks that you would need to make this year and the next successful and maybe slightly a little bit easier because we're on board for a little bit of an easier school year. All right, so please stick around. Hey, all you hot messes. Today is a great episode. I'm really, really excited about it because I get to share some of the most amazing tips and tricks and hacks from you guys. You guys are so smart. I cannot even believe some of the things that people shared with me to share on this episode. It's going to be such a fun episode. So whether you've been in school for a few weeks or you're just going back now, this episode is going to be super helpful for you, and I'm really excited to get into it. But first, let's do some housekeeping. Please make sure that you are following the Hot Mess Teacher Express on all different social media platforms. We've got Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and I'm trying out the Threads thing. And you can actually watch these full episodes on YouTube. So make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe. And you can watch myself do a podcast. But yeah, it gets really deep really fast. But make sure that you go to YouTube and subscribe. And one of my favorite things about this podcast is just the community that we're building together. And that was kind of one of my visions for this podcast, was to create a space where teachers, hot mess or fully together teachers can just come together and be real and learn from each other and support each other. A lot of times that's where that community is formed, on those platforms. I love interacting with you guys on that. And talking and chatting with you. So please make sure that you can follow along with us over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, and all of the above. I'd love to see you and chat with you over there too. Okay, the second thing is that I just want to point out that Teacher Style Box is doing a giveaway. That's right. They're doing a back to school giveaway. They're giving away 10 6-month subscriptions completely for free for anyone who wants to enter. We're going to have that link to enter in our bio on Instagram. I'll also put that link in the Facebook comments and on the YouTube description. So make sure that you go and enter there for Teacher Style Box for free for 6 months. That would be kind of amazing. The one thing that I do love about Teacher Style Box is this is kind of a hack. We're getting into the episode a little early. One thing that I love about Teacher Style Box is that it's clothes for that are there. I'm not sitting in my closet looking at the same old boring stuff that I've had for years and years and trying to put stuff together. I'm adding new pieces, unlimited boxes throughout the month that I'm getting. And I get to add those pieces with the stuff that I already have, or maybe it's a whole entire outfit that I get. I really love Teacher Style Box. And as someone who's postpartum and my body is just not what it was a few years ago, and that's okay. I'm still learning how to dress it in the way that makes me feel comfortable and makes me feel confident. And Teacher Style Box is kind of helping me open the doors to different styles that I maybe wouldn't have thought of or tried if I was going shopping. And also, I don't have time to shop anymore. It's awful. And I hate that for myself, but that's the season of life we're in. So Teacher Style Box is giving away 10 6-month memberships for free to 10 lucky teachers. And all you have to do is just sign up on that little landing page that we have in various places on our social media platforms. And if you sign up for the giveaway, you can also sign up for 30 days absolutely for free to try it out before maybe you win the 6-month membership. And that's 7 months of free clothes. Yeah, you're welcome. There's a hack for you. Okay. All right. So now that we've soft launched ourselves into classroom hacks, let's talk about hacks in the classroom at school. So these could be like physical, decorating, organizational, and some of them are actually for classroom management as well. The important thing to remember, and I want to stress this right at the beginning, and I feel like I need to disclaim this every single time that we have a chat about anything like this. What works for one teacher may not work for you, and what works for one class may not work for another, and that's okay. Hopefully, you will find one thing at least today that helps you in your classroom, or you can be inspired to make that your own. Whatever it is, just take it as you need it. You don't have to take them all and use them all. That was something that was really helpful. Someone once told me when I was touring colleges and they were going on and on about all of these different things. And I was super overwhelmed by what the college offered. And I wanted somewhere small and in a box that I could like understand. And they were like, listen, all of this stuff is here for you if you want it. Like you can use it if you want. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. And that has been something that I kind of took into the rest of my life. And that's kind of what I want to share with you today. Okay. These hacks are here to help you if you need it. If you don't need a hack, you can listen and nod politely and go into the next hack and maybe find something that will work for you in this school year and the next and the next and the next. All right, let's get into these classroom hacks that you guys shared with me. This first one I love, and I would love to use this in a classroom in the future. I used clothespins with the students' names on them, and they can decorate them and make them their own. And as the students arrive in the morning, they pull their clothespin from a class board or paper plate that was stapled to the wall. And those that were left over on that paper were absent for the day. And the students use pins to clip on their screen when they have a question so they don't have to stop working, like waiting for you to come by while their hands are raised. And I could come by when I could. 2 birds, 1 clothespin. I love this idea because the amount of times that I would have kids like literally sit there with their hands raised, like stopping entirely what they are working on and just raising their hands. And it took me a while to get to them sometimes because I was working with other students and they would just sit there with their hands raised the entire time, stopped working because their hand was raised. No, I love this idea that they can almost just quietly put a little pin on their screen or on their notebook, whatever you're working on, and that question could be answered when you had a chance and they're not stopping what they're doing. I love this idea. Just a clothespin, so simple, and then they can decorate them. Love that idea. That's a great first day of school activity for them to decorate their own clothespin with their name, with rhinestones, whatever. They could make it a person. They could, whatever they want to do. I think that would be such a cool, fun activity for the first day of school. So clothespins, who knew? Okay. All right. This next one is one that I love too, because this would be so practical in my own classroom. Cut an extra Scholastic news in half and then put in page protectors in a binder. And again, this is like such a simple thing. I would take those Scholastic newses and I would throw them out a lot of times, those extra Scholastic newses, and those would be a great thing to have for extra work. Like maybe you don't use them, or there's an article that you can reference back to for a research project. I think to have those in a binder would be super helpful. I think they do them online. I think they have them online too. If you're looking for an in-hand solution, I think that's such a cool thing to do. for those Scholastic Newses. This next one is questionable and definitely not for everyone to do. And you definitely have to do it right. This one is for high school. And they shared this. If I have a student who is a complete nightmare or behavior problem, I go out of my way to be super nice, relaxed, and chill with all of their friends while not acknowledging the student who is choosing to use bad choices as a way to get attention. So when that student complains about me, all of their friends love me and defend me. And after about 2 weeks, I start being super nice to the mean student, and they usually jump at the chance of being on my good side with their friends, and it hasn't failed me yet. Again, it has to be done right. And I think, we all have different definitions of what it means to go out of not acknowledging a student who is choosing to make bad behavior choices. I think that's probably some of the best way to handle it. Obviously, if they're making choices that are hurting others, and that's not a great idea, to ignore that. But I like this idea of going through the friends and trying to figure out how to manage that student. Because listen, social dynamics in high school friend groups are very, very real, and peer pressure is a very real thing. And why not use peer pressure to support you? All right, this next one. I hate a messy classroom at the end of the day, and getting my students to actually clean up the room is almost as hard as getting erased from the district. I play a game where I secretly choose one piece of trash on the floor or simply something that needs to be put away, like a chair or a pencil. The student that finds it gets a small prize like a sticker, a fancy pencil, a special eraser, or the winning student gets to choose the object for the next day. Love this idea. And I used this one too. I also used cleanup time. If they heard a certain song, I would pick a song as our cleanup song. If they heard that song, they knew that it was time to pick up, and they had until that song ended for the special trash item to be picked up and put away. This is such a great thing. Again, you can totally make this your own. You don't have to give away a small prize. I kind of like the idea of the winning student being the one to choose the object, and because they're in control, and students do love being in control. So I think I love this hack for picking up a messy classroom. Do not let those students walk out of your classroom and it be a mess. Don't let that happen. That it's their classroom as well, and it should not be on the custodians to pick up after their huge mess. That's okay. That's my soapbox, I guess. All right, I love this next one too. Principals come and go. School secretaries, librarians, and custodians stay forever. So be friends with everyone. I am such a huge advocate of making sure that you are recognizing every single person in that school. No matter their position, we are all on the same team, and everyone should be treated with respect and kindness and love. And listen, school secretaries and custodians and the librarians have a lot to give you, okay? And they will. They have no problem giving that some of their knowledge and wisdom and secrets. You just gotta be kind, okay? Be friends with everyone. Next one is screw the name tags, just write on their desk with Sharpies. And bonus, that nail polish remover gets Sharpie off of things. I did not know that nail polish got Sharpie off of things. And I have a few things on my wall upstairs that I need to get off with nail polish remover, apparently. So yeah, this one's a tough one for me. Just again, this would probably be one that I'd be it doesn't work for me, because if I'm moving around their desks, then I would have to clean off the name every single time. But I like this one. The next one, use Google Keep as a digital sticky note. I open it on a tab and look at it throughout the day. And I love this one because if you look at my desk right now, it is covered in sticky notes. I don't know why. I think I just write stuff down on a sticky note to make myself feel like I acknowledged it. And will I ever look at a sticky note again? I don't know. But I think if I had a digital sticky note, Google Keep, all of the Google apps, like definitely use those to your advantage. And I think that would be a great way to kind of go through a to-do list. The next one is lining letters on the edge of a table and then putting in place on a bulletin board with painter's tape. I don't know if anyone has seen this hack, like acted out on a TikTok or whatever, but I was so bad at putting things evenly on a bulletin board. My bulletin board would look so good, and then I would go to put up the letters on it, and it would be disastrous. I'm like, was I intoxicated when I put up those letters? Because those are like, they're slanted. They're not supposed to be. And did I think that was the middle? So this is a great hack of just like putting those letters right on the edge of a table so that you have a straight line, and then putting painter's tape over the letters and then putting all of those letters up in the middle of the book. Fantastic. It's fantastic. I love this next one, but I think I'm too scared to try it. Write on marker boards with permanent marker. When you're done, write over the permanent marker with dry erase and it comes right off. I don't know if it's just because like I'm a rule follower and someone told me not to write with permanent marker on the dry erase board, that I would be scared to death that it would never come off. I would maybe have to try it on like a small little square of the dry erase board, because God forbid that I ruin it, right? But this was something that was super annoying because on my dry erase boards, I usually had things that stayed up there consistently, whether it's like the date or the subjects or what have you. Like I would have things stay up there consistently all year long. And I would go to erase stuff and I would accidentally erase the stuff that's permanently supposed to be on there. Then I have to do it all over again. And it's just, I think this is a great way to solve that problem. That's it. This next one, I wish that I had done, and I will be taking this idea to me if I go back to the classroom. Make a good subbinder so that you don't feel guilty about taking your leave. It saves time and sanity. And I just want to clap for this one, because I think this one is super important. One of the things that I always felt guilty about was I would get sick, or I would need a day, and I would spend the whole day before prepping what I felt was busy work and not like meaningful things that my class could be doing. So then I would spend the next day when I was trying to be resting or just away, not being present with my time away and thinking about and feeling guilty about the sub plans or just really bad sub plans that I made for my class that day. So I think having a good sub binder would definitely be something that I would invest some time into as you're going into this school year. Take a few hours, put one together, and that way you are set up to take a day if you need to. Because guess what? You're allowed to take a day, and you're going to need to. This next one I got so many of. So this might be a hack that everyone knows, but I want to share because I got so many answers like this. It's mark the master copy with a highlighted M because it won't show up when you're copying that master copy each year. I love this idea. I think that's super helpful. I don't know that I was ever organized enough to have a master copy, and a lot of times I would just print stuff off from Google Drive anyway. But great hack if you're looking to copy something that has a master copy, or you need to save a master copy. All right, this one is very applicable to this time of year. Make extras of back to school items for new students throughout the year and have them in kits. The amount of times that the principal would be like, "Oh, you're getting a new kit on Wednesday." And I'm like, it's November. I'm like, all of this kid and his adults at home, needed something from me. Like, they're just starting the school year with us, so they need something. And I never had any of this stuff saved or in kits that I could just hand out to the various students that were added to my class mid-year. I think this is such a great thing to do, and definitely highly recommend doing this because, you're going to get new kids added to your class. I don't think I ever had a year where I didn't get someone new added into my class, and we were in a small school. So please make sure that you do this as well. I really like this one, and I wish I had done this with my class. I write a daily to-do or goal on my board with assignments or tasks for both me and my students. I love this idea of the teacher taking ownership for what they need to get done. I think a lot of times when you're in school, from a student's perspective, you're looking at the teacher like they're just there to watch you work. As teachers, we know that's obviously not the case. But I think that's such a cool thing to do, and for teachers to model that you have stuff to get done today too, and you need to get that stuff done today, and to have those written out on the board with the stuff that your students need to get done too. I think there's like a camaraderie in that. I could be romanticizing this a lot in my brain, but I think that's such a cool thing to do together. To recognize that you have goals, to recognize that each day is an opportunity to get those goals done, and what you could do together to get those things done. And maybe even like help each other get those things done. I love it. Love it. All right. This one is for those decorating hacks. Okay. For your classroom, painter's tape flat on the wall, and then you can put hot glue on top of it, and you can hang anything. You can hang anything on there. And at the end of the year, it just like peels right off. I wish that I had thought of this. I was always up there with like sticky tack and the command strip. I was spending a small fortune on command strips. And this is brilliant. I had never heard of this one. This probably everyone's heard of this one, but I had never heard of it. I thought it was so cool. This next hack. Love it. Take the morning off after a night of conferences, or even the whole day. I love this idea. That is definitely a hack, and not for everyone. Okay, again, take what you need to and modify it to what you want. I think this is awesome. I love that idea of just leaving after a night of conferences. You're exhausted. You're emotionally and mentally just spent. I would run conferences really late for the parents that were working so that they had an opportunity to come. And I remember leaving and just being like, I'm so dead. I can't imagine teaching the next day. So we always had the day after as a teacher workshop day, so we could like continue doing conferences if we needed to. So I never really had to take the morning off because it was usually just like a work in your classroom type of day. But I would definitely highly recommend not being in front of a class the day after or the night after conferences. All right. I love this last one. And I think this is such a fun one. Don't be afraid to have kind of silly rules mixed in with the real rules. Rule number 1 in my class is no throwing up, bleeding, pooping, or peeing in the classroom. I teach high school. It gets a chuckle and an inevitable, wait, has that happened? Which can lead to perhaps a funny story or a no, that hasn't happened because my students know how to follow the rules. I love this idea of just having these silly, fun rules. It kind of sets a precedent for what you want your classroom to be. Obviously, if you need to be a little bit more strict and serious in your classroom, obviously this one may not work for you. But for me, this would totally be up my alley. And I'm always looking to make the kids laugh in a way that just like, listen, there are rules in here and we can have fun, but there are rules. And I think that this could be a way to handle classroom management if you're kind of in that zone as well, of just having fun with the kids. It's okay to laugh and it's okay to have fun with them and, not be serious all the time. Rules can be fun. All right. Those were just a few hacks from you guys that you sent it to me. Again, thank you so much for sharing with me. I absolutely loved reading every single one of these and kind of finding ways for it to help me in the future and how I used it in the past in my classroom. So I think some of these, you guys are so just MacGyvers, basically. Way to go. Thank you again so much. And hopefully there's something in there for you. I would love to hear more hacks if you have them, because I don't know what it is about good hack, but just they fascinate me what people's brains can do and come up with. I love it so much. But thank you so much for being here and spending your time with me. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you spending your time with me and relating and laughing. And it's just such an amazing thing to be able to do together. So thank you so much. And I'm so glad you're here with me on the Hot Mess Teacher Express. And I will definitely, for sure, right? See you next week. All right, all you hot messes. Bye. Choo choo.